and cozy, and let's begin. Artwork in this book is really, 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 really good. We'll start with Artificer. Artificer, masters of invention. Artificers use ingenuity and magic to unlock extraordinary capabilities in objects. They see magic as a complex system waiting to be decoded and then harnessed in their spells and inventions. You can find everything you need to play one of these inventors in the next few sections. Artificers use a variety of tools to channel their arcane power. To cast a spell, an artificer might use alchemist supplies to create a potent elixir, calligrapher supplies to inscribe a sigil of power, or tinker's tools to craft a temporary charm. The magic of artificers is tied to their tools and their talents, and few other characters can produce the right tool for a job as well as an artificer. Artificers in many worlds. Throughout the D&D multiverse, artificers create inventions and magic items of peace and war. Many lives have been brightened or saved because of the work of kind artificers, but countless lives have also been lost because of the mass destruction unleashed by certain artificers' creations. In the Forgotten Realms, the island of Lantern is home to many artificers, and in the world of Dragonlance, tinker gnomes are often members of this class. The strange technologies in the barrier peaks of the world of Greyhawk have inspired some folk to walk the path of the artificer, and in Mystara, various nations employ artificers to keep airships and other wondrous devices operational. Artificers in the city of Sigil share discoveries from throughout the multiverse, and from there, the gnome artificer runs a cosmos-spanning business that hires adventurers to fix problems that others deem unfixable. In VI's homeworld, Eberron, magic is harnessed as a form of science and deployed throughout society, largely as a result of the wondrous ingenuity of artificers. Creating an artificer. Artificers invent cutting-edge problems, then try to solve them loudly and often with collateral damage. Tasha. To create an artificer, consult the following subsections which give you hit points, proficiencies, and starting equipment. Then look at the artificer table to see which features you get at each level. The descriptions of those features appear in the artificer features section. Quick build. You can make an artificer quickly by following these suggestions. First, put your highest ability score in intelligence, followed by constitution or dexterity. Second, choose the guild artisan background. Proficiencies. Armor. Light armor, medium armor, shields. Weapons. Simple weapons. Tools. Thieves' tools. Tinker's tools. One type of artisan's tools of your choice. Saving throws. Constitution, intelligence. Skills. Choose 2 from Arcana. History, investigation, medicine, nature, perception, and sleight of hand. The secrets of gunpowder weapons have been discovered in various corners of the D&D multiverse. If your dungeon master uses the rules on firearms in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and your artificer has been exposed to the operation of such weapons, your artificer is proficient with them. Starting equipment. You can start with the following equipment in addition to the equipment granted by your background. Any 2 simple weapons of your choice. A light crossbow and 20 bolts. Your choice of studded leather armor or scale mail. Or thieves' tools and a dungeoneer's pack. If you forego this starting equipment as well as the items offered by your background, you start with 5d4 times 6 GP to buy your equipment. Class features. As an artificer, you gain the following class features, which are summarized in the Artificer table. Magical tinkering. First level artificer feature. You've learned how to invest a spark of magic into mundane objects. To use this ability, you must have thieves' tools or artisan's tools in hand. You then touch a tiny non-magical object as an action and give it one of the following magical properties of your choice. The object sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet. Whenever tapped by a creature, the object emits a recorded message that can be heard up to 10 feet away. You utter the message when you bestow this property on the object, and the recording can be no more than 6 seconds long. The object continuously emits your choice of an odor or nonverbal sound, wind, waves, chirping, or the like. The chosen phenomenon is perceivable up to 10 feet away. A static visual effect appears on one of the object's surfaces. This effect can be a picture up to 25 words of text, lines, and shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you like. The chosen property lasts indefinitely. As an action, you can touch the object and end the property early. You can bestow magic on multiple objects, touching one object each time you use this feature, though a single object can only bear one property at a time. The maximum number of objects you can affect with this feature at one time is equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1 object. If you try to exceed your maximum, the oldest property immediately ends, and then the new property applies. Spellcasting. First level artificer feature. You've studied the workings of magic and how to cast spells, channeling the magic through objects. To observers, you don't appear to be casting spells in a conventional way. You appear to produce wonders from mundane items and outlandish inventions. Tools required. You produce your artificer spell effects through your tools. You must have a spellcasting focus, specifically thieves' tools or some kind of artisan's tools in hand when you cast any spell with this spellcasting feature, meaning the spell has an M component when you cast it. You must be proficient with the tool level. Absorb elements. Alarm. Catapult. Cure wounds. Detect magic. Disguise self. Expeditious retreat. Fairy fire. False life. Featherfall. Grease. Identify. Jump. Long strider. creations to give life and to leech it away. Alchemy is the oldest of Artificer traditions, and its versatility has long been valued during times of war and peace. Tool proficiency. Third level Alchemist feature. You gain proficiency with Alchemist supplies. If you already have this proficiency, you gain proficiency with one other type of artisan's tools of your choice. Alchemist spells. Third level Alchemist feature. You always have certain spells prepared after you reach particular levels in this class, as shown in the Alchemist spells table. These spells count as Artificer spells for you, but they don't count against the number of Artificer spells you prepare. Alchemist spells. Artificer level. Third. Healing word. Ray of sickness. Fifth level. Flaming sphere. Melf's acid arrow. Ninth level. Gaseous form. Mass healing word. 13th level. Blight. Death ward. 17th level. Cloud kill. Raise dead. Experimental elixir. Third level Alchemist feature. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can magically produce an experimental elixir in an empty flask you touch. Roll on the experimental elixir table for the elixir's effect, which is triggered when someone drinks the elixir. As an action, a creature can drink the elixir or administer it to an incapacitated creature. You can create additional experimental elixirs by expending a spell slot of first level or higher for each one. When you do so, you use your action to create the elixir in an empty flask you touch, and you choose the elixir's effect from the experimental elixir table. Creating an experimental elixir requires you to have alchemist supplies on your person, and any elixir you create with this feature lasts until it is drunk or until the end of your next long rest. When you reach certain levels in this class, you can make more elixirs at the end of a long rest, 2 at 6th level and 3 at 15th level. Roll for each elixir's effect separately. Each elixir requires its own flask. Experimental elixir. Effect. Healing. The drinker regains a number of hit points equal to 2d4 plus your intelligence modifier. Swiftness. The drinker's walking speed increases by 10 feet for 1 hour. Resilience. The drinker gains a +1 bonus to AC for 10 minutes. Boldness. The drinker can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to every attack roll and saving throw they make for the next minute. Boldness. The drinker can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to every attack roll and saving throw they make for the next minute. Flight. The drinker gains a flying speed of 10 feet for 10 minutes. Transformation. The drinker's body is transformed as if by the alter self-spell. The drinker determines the transformation caused by the spell, the effects of which last for 10 minutes. Alchemical Savant. 5th level Alchemist feature. You've developed masterful command of magical chemicals, enhancing the healing and damage you create through them. Whenever you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus, you gain a bonus to 1 roll of the spell. That roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage, and the bonus equals your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1. Restorative Regents, 9th level Alchemist feature. You can incorporate restorative regents into some of your works. Whenever a creature drinks an experimental elixir you created, the creature gains temporary hit points equal to 2d6, plus your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1 temporary hit point. You can cast Lesser Restoration without expending a spell slot and without preparing the spell. Provided you use Alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus, you can do so a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Chemical Mastery, 15th level Alchemist feature. You have been exposed to so many chemicals that they pose little risk to you, and you can use them to quickly end certain ailments. You gain resistance to acid damage and poison damage, and you are immune to the poisoned condition. You can cast Greater Restoration and heal without expending a spell slot, without preparing the spell, and without material components, provided you use Alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus. Once you cast either spell with this feature, you can't cast that spell with it again until you finish a long rest. Armorer. Classic Artificer logic right here. What if, when our invention goes explosively wrong, we're inside it? Tasha. An artificer who specializes as an armorer modifies armor to function almost like a second skin. The armor is enhanced to hone the artificer's magic, unleash potent attacks, and generate a formidable defense. The artificer bonds with this armor, becoming one with it even as they experiment with it and refine its magical capabilities. Tools of the trade. 3rd level armorer feature. You gain proficiency with heavy armor. You also gain proficiency with smith's tools. If you already have this tool proficiency, you gain proficiency with one other type of artisan's tools of your choice. Armorer spells, 3rd level armorer feature. You always have certain spells prepared after you reach particular levels in this class, as shown in the armorer spells table. These spells count as artificer spells for you, but they don't count against the number of artificer spells you prepare. Armorer spells. At 3rd level, Magic Missile, Thunder Wave. 5th level, Mirror Image, Shatter. 9th level, Hypnotic Pattern, Lightning Bolt. 13th level, Fire Shield, Greater Invisibility. 17th level, Pass Wall, Wall of Force. Arcane Armor, 3rd level armorer feature. Your metallurgical pursuits have led to you making armor a conduit for your magic. As an action, you can turn a suit of armor you are wearing into arcane armor, provided you have smith's tools in hand. You gain the following benefits while wearing this armor. If the armor normally has a strength requirement, the arcane armor lacks this requirement for you. You can use the arcane armor as a spellcasting focus for your artificer spells. The armor attaches to you and can't be removed against your will. It also expands to cover your entire body, although you can retract or deploy the helmet as a bonus action. The armor replaces any missing limbs functioning identically to a limb it replaces. You can doff or don the armor as an action. The armor continues to be arcane armor until you don another suit of armor or you die. Armor model, 3rd level armorer feature. You can customize your arcane armor. When you do so, choose one of the following armor models: Guardian or Infiltrator. The model you choose gives you special benefits while you wear it. Each model includes a special weapon. When you attack with that weapon, customize your armor for subtle undertakings, it has the following features. Lightning Launcher. A gem-like node appears on one of your armored fists or on the chest, your choice. It counts as a simple ranged weapon with a normal range of 90 feet and a long range of 300 feet, and it deals 1d6 lightning damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage to that target. Powered steps. Your walking speed increases by 5 feet. Dampening field. You have